So I was riding my bike one day when I noticed that my philodendron majestic wasn't looking so majestic. For a plant this size, it was in a tiny pot, and 2 other plants very clearly outgrew their moss poles as well. So this calls for a trip to my supply cabinet to prepare for a repot and some moss pole making. Korean old lady gloves are a necessity even though I'm not a Korean old lady. Moss is disgusting, I can't touch this stuff. My secret tip is to keep pre-moistened moss in a plastic bag. Then you always have it on hand for, moss emergencies. Yes, I have a supply cabinet for my moss poles. Busted out my adult-sized table, and these clear foldable poles are so easy to use. All you do is stuff it with the moss and clip it together. Any plants that trail can be trained to climb. P.S. That's root crack and a chunky soil mix that I use for nearly all my plants. Why use a moss pole, you may ask? When a plant attaches itself to a moss pole, aerial roots support bigger and larger leaves as the plant grows. I use plastic wrap to keep the nodes touching the moss to encourage the roots to grow. Now the moss does need to stay consistently moist, so to water it, I use recycled water bottles and I add in nutrients. This is because I want to make sure I'm feeding the roots inside the moss, not just in the soil. Pay attention to how droopy this plant was before and how she looks after a day. This was a good hard day's work. But when I sat down for just 1 second, I realized this plant had outgrown its moss pole ages ago, and this one needs its 7th extension.